So let us start with today's session. So today we will be covering few of the basic things of SQL. So I hope most of you will be familiar with SQL, how it works and what is the utility of it. So SQL DF is a data with is a package which comes quite handy in R. So first of all, people who are quite familiar in R and familiar in SQL and are new to R, for them SQL DF works quite well because they are able to make all the commands in SQL. So if you want to make your R work in SQL, so that is a most convenient way to do that. So let us load the data which we had yesterday and then start with it. Again from CSV. So this is the data which we had for orange juice yesterday on which we were working. So let's say uh, now let's suppose I want to have only the first 10 observation of the data. So what will be the SQL command for it? So anybody knows, he can write that. So before that, let me do one thing. Yeah, Tarun, that is right. That is in R, but I want a SQL statement for that. So if any one of you who have worked on SQL, so okay, okay, let us try that. So the command for it is SQLDF. First you have to mention, and then within the quotes you have to give uh, the statement, the SQL statement. So Vimal has provided a syntax. Let us try that and let's see if it works. So limit 10, and my table name was orange juice. So yeah, correct, Vimal. So that syntax was absolutely correct. So in this way I can get all the top 10 observation from my data. So this shows all the top 10 observations, and few of the columns cannot fit in the first line, so it has been moved down to the second line. Now let's say again in SQLDF within quotes, and I want to select only the distinct part. Distinct, let's say brand. So there are many brands. Among them, what are the distinct brands that I have? So so if you remember, this was the top 3 brands that we had yesterday. No, there is no connection with SQL. Only the thing is that I'm writing this SQL command. So what happens is SQL DF actually changes the SQL command into R equivalent and then it processes. So this is how. So there is no link between. So it hasn't been linked with SQL yet. So SQL is not installed in my system, so I cannot do that. So only things it does is makes the R equivalent of the statement. And in a way, when you are more familiar with SQL, it becomes quite easy to work with it. Now let's suppose some of the aggregate function that we can take. So we had price, select average. So average is the syntax here, not mean. So in R we have mean, here we have average. So we have price from orange juice. Let's say what we can get. So this is the average price overall. So we have not aggregated it over a certain variable. So once we do that, we need a group by statement. Uh, so this is not really in SQL. So this command is in SQL. So SQLDF is actually a package. So let me explain you this. SQLDF is actually a package which actually makes a SQL equivalent of that statement into R equivalent. So it converts that statement into R and then starts processing it. So that is the main purpose of SQLDF. It hasn't linked anything with SQL or with the SQL working. Only thing is that the command or there is a language compatibility between the two. That is the only thing it does, SQLDF. Not really. There is hardly any such difference because I have executed some of the very that command with quite a lot, quite high or data set which has a larger number of rows. So I've done that, and there was no such difference that I've observed. It was almost same. So few of the packages work quite well. So packages are designed in such a way that it actually makes your work quite easy. So some of the function which you make or which you design takes a bit more longer, and few of the packages that are already designed in such a way that the same thing will take lesser time in that package. So this is the main utility of that package, that it makes our work a bit easy and saves our time. So few of the packages are quite well in R, and that's why we need to know those packages, how it works. So now let's say I want to aggregate this on the basis of brand. So I will have a brand here also. And one more thing, whatever is there within the codes, that is case insensitive, same as SQL. So if I write capital S in select or small s in select, both are same. So everything mentioned in the codes are same. So let's say if I make this OJ to capital and then group by brand. Okay, well, so it hasn't recognized OJ here. So this is by brands. So let's say okay. So here these functions actually are case insensitive. The names of the R columns or R vectors are case sensitive, as that was the case in R, but only these functions like average, minimum, max, those are case insensitive. So let's say mean, and now let's say the same thing in a different order. So it is in the alphabetical order starting from D, M, then T. Now if I make it to descending, then it is the other way around. So few of the things that to be noted here, that update statement is quite difficult. So SQL DF only makes a representation of the data, or if you want to show the data or the summary in a particular manner. For that reason, SQL DF is designed for update, delete, drop. For these things, SQL DF is should not be used. Yeah. So there are some syntax that can be used, like update can be used, but it becomes quite hectic to use that, because I have myself tried that and it becomes very difficult to actually work with that. So let me show you that how it works, so that you can understand. So it has to be like that. If you want to make a statement or a update statement, so the method would be like this, and combination of, because I'm taking combination of two things. I'm updating it at the same time I'm selecting it. So let's say update, sorry, it should be like this. Yeah, these are, so yeah, in a way you can say that most of the things are not part of this package. Like update cannot be done. Update directly cannot be done, but indirectly you can do that. So let me show you that how indirectly it can be done. So let's say update, uh, what was the syntax? Table and table name, set set brand equal to Tropicana, where brand equal to, so this is a part of just update statement. So at the same time I also want to make a select statement, because without select statement it won't work. So now select star from orange juice. So if it is too long, then make it like this. Yeah. See. So let's say distinct brand, what it comes. So it has been changed. So previously what I was getting in smaller cases, now it has been updated to uppercase. So let's see, there are a few questions. Let me see that. What are those? Yeah, so there we haven't made any connection with the database. So it is just that we are working with the same data that we have loaded on R, but with SQL syntax. So here what I did is I actually made an update of the current brand, the current data set that I have. I've set brand in uh, uppercase when it was all of them was in lowercase. So this thing I have updated, and at the same time I have selected that statement. So what happens is when you only update that statement, it will only work inside, and that select part won't come, so it won't display. And once this command is over, then your update statement is also gone with that. So nothing update happens there. So what you need to do, you have to update it then you have to display the data and you have to store it in some other variable or in the same variable. It's up to you. So this is how update statement can work, not directly, but yeah, indirectly, this is the method you can work with it. Similarly, if, you need to delete some of, yeah, delete would also work in a similar way. For delete also, it is the same thing. So let us try out delete as well. So let me see. Yeah, uh, yeah, there is a syntax using which you can link DB with R. So that is in SQLite. That is one of the packages there available in R as well. So in that you can link R with the database and you can make manipulations there. So R can act as an interface and data manipulation will be done in the database as well. So that can be done. So let's say, so syntax for delete was, I think, delete from table, uh, and there is no set statement, there is only where statement, right? Yeah, let me save it in some other variable because I don't want to lose all those rows. So let's see what happens. Okay, okay, it hasn't. So what happened is, so it has deleted first. First thing, that deletion was done. No, okay, yes, there is no such variable. That value was not available. Not will work. So orange juice one is, as you can see, some of the variables has been removed, so the count has gone down. So delete also would work in a similar way. Let's move to some other thing. I think for column, it is actually not. So delete, I think it is draw for a particular column or alter column, I think. Anyway, for that there is an alternative. If you want to delete, what you can do is, instead of star, you can mention only those column names which you want to include. So for example, if I want to include only store, then brand and price, so these are the only columns which will pass to orange juice 2. So let me make it 2. So let's do this, and let's say what are the column names for orange juice 2. So these are the only things that we have here, only these three columns. So in a way, this you don't need to directly drop a column, you can do it in this way. Alter alter could be a part of this. So you know, on the entire syntax for alter, that was, I think, alter table name. Let me check. Okay. So let's see. So call names of orange juice 2. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. So market has been added to the column list. So alter, drop, all these are there. Okay. So let us start with some of the few manipulations of data. So first thing, so string part was left, I think. So we will start with string and how it can be manipulated, and it can be trimmed, or various other manipulation that can be done on string. So let's see that. So first of all, let me show you one more part which was there. I think it hasn't been covered. So this NA part, I'm not sure if it was there. So NA should be in capital. So this is how everything has been stored in A. So if I want to check if it has NA or not, so for that, this is the syntax: is dot NA of A. So it will return me the comparative one. So whether the first one is false or not, second one is false or not, and in case if I need the index, I can add which to it. So only 7 and 8 are NA, rest all uh, are not a missing value. So NA means not applicable, or it's an equivalent to null in R. So few of the string manipulations part. Let's say A, I have Batman. Now you remember this functions for the syntax for substring in SAS or in SQL? Anyone of you? You can type that in the, yeah. So what is the syntax? So there I think it was substring. It was the string which you want to manipulate, the starting position, and the length. And here we have something like this. So X, what would be your string that you want to manipulate? So my string is A, so which I have set as Batman. Second is my start position. So where I should start, let's say I will start from 1, and where I should stop, I I will stop at 3. So it gives me bat. And let's say if I want to know what is the character length of that string, so for that in SAS the equivalent is uh, length, and for that in R we have n char of A. So it will give you the length of uh, your string. So don't try length here, because if you try length it will give you something else. So let's say if I try length, so length will, so let me try it on orange juice of brand. So length will give me actually how many observations are there. So what is the length of that vector? And nchar is actually thing which gives you what is actually uh, the length of that variable. So let's say if I remove this with, so here it has given me what is the length of that string. So first one we all know was Tropicana, so the length was uh, 9, and then 11. So 11 is for minute maid, then again back to 9, then again back to 11, so on. So few more thing, 2 lower and 2 upper, so it that is same as SAS. So 2 lower would be of A, that means entirely in lower, so it will give me Batman in lower cases. 2 upper, so it was already there in upper, so let me change it to like this. So there is also one concept of string split here. So in SAS, you must have worked with something like a scan function. So scan function makes a split of the entire sentence on certain basis, either on the basis of some delimiter like space, then arrow mark or something, or a dash. So it has a similar concept here as well. So let's say I have a new string now, and it has bat, man, man, cat, or something like this. Now I want to split it on the basis of dash. So for that I have a syntax here, string split of B, and split should be on the basis of dash. Now let's see what we have. So here in a vector we have these three strings. So bat, man, capital, and small, and cat. So let us try with some other variable also. So let's say I have bat and then man. So the split on the basis of this. Now suppose if I have it on the basis of blank, then let's say so it has been splitted with blanks. So each and every uh, character has been assigned a new value. So let's say I only need the second variable, that is or the second indexed thing. So I can do it like this. Oh, sorry, so this has to be stored actually. So it has been stored entirely in the same thing. Okay. Now there is one more option of concatenating of two strings together. So for that, the option available is paste. So let's say paste of A and B and C. So it has concatenated both the strings together. So by default, what it does, it makes a concatenation with a space. So in case if I don't need a space, I want it together, what I can do is separate it, separate equal to no space. So I'm not giving any blank there. So now it will make a concatenation like this without any space split, or without any space in between them. Default it saves to 200, but in R it is quite dynamic, and it saves it directly to the length that you have. So Siddharth, Java, I'm not sure about how it works, so I cannot answer that. So let's, so this is one of the functions to check a repetitive pattern, if it is there or not, or if there is a pattern available in a string. So for that, I just need to provide this string or that pattern which I need to found, and in which string. So let's say I want to find it in my string B. So it will show me where I've stored this. So the first part will be returned. So let's say, well, can you show the same like concatenate for a table? Okay. So in orange juice, that the table that we have, so would like to make some concatenation there. Okay, let's do that. So for concatenation, we had the command was paste. So let's say orange juice. I'm making a so new brand, and that will be equal to paste. So brand, and I'm pasting it with some other thing. Let's say XY, and then I need to separate. So separate part I'm keeping it blank, so it will separate it by a space. So let's say what happens then, and levels as dot factor orange juice new brand. So here I have concatenated XYZ to all the uh, brands that I had. So all the brands come out like this: Dominic's XYZ, Made XYZ, Tropicana XYZ. So is it clear, Wally? Okay. So so let's say if I only show you how it has happened. So head of orange juice and then new brand and first 18 only. So this is how it looks like. So after every string, this XYZ has been included. Okay. For substitution, here we have one more function, that is sub. Uh, the SAS equivalent for this was, I think, tran word. This was the SAS equivalent, and for here in R we have substitute sub. So let's say if I want to substitute all the dash with the slash like this, and in B. So let's see what happens. So here only the first substitution has been changed. So for that, what I can do is, so it actually makes sees the first match, and then it makes a change. So if I want to make changes everywhere, so there is, I have G sub or global substitution. So global substitution has made changes everywhere in all the strings that it found. All the pattern where it matched, for everywhere it has made the change, that made that change. Okay. important packages that is repeatedly used in R. So let us install that and start working on that. It should be installer packages. No, Tarun, those concepts I'm not sure about. Are they there in R or not? Because I have not worked with this concept in R at least. So mainly that we have worked with a data set, and in data set these concepts it could be there. I'm not uh, denying that it cannot be there, but at least I have not worked with this concepts there in R. So collections wise, so what were there? We have actually taught that in the list part. So all the six collections that we have taught: data frame, matrices, list, arrays, factors. So these were part of it. So these were the things that we really need to have a grip on to work with the data. So that's where these were the first thing that we taught. So let's say we want to have a glimpse of the data. So let's say how it works. So glimpse of orange juice. So this glimpse feature is there in this SQL DF. So it is something similar of structure that we had. So if I take structure of orange juice, then it gives me something similar, and this is what we have here in glimpse. So one of the notation that we had discussed yesterday, that was of dollar notation, and that has to be used with a dataset name and the dollar sign, and then you have to provide the column name. So in this way it has to proceed. So here in dplyr you have one facility available, so you don't have to actually provide the dollar sign, provided you have uh, given the name of the column name correctly. So if I have orange juice and I want to filter out brands of certain name, so it will double equal. So head of one. So all the brands with Tropicana has been. So is my voice still not there? Am I audible or okay? So Naresh can. So everyone I think can hear, but Tarun. Okay, okay, fine. So this is one of the feature which is there in dplyr. So it can be filtered like this way. So previously we had some other option. So what you used to do previously was orange juice in square braces. So we have to filter out all those rows which have Tropicana. So for that, orange juice dollar brand and equal to. So this was the first thing that we did yesterday to filter out things, and the same thing can be done using dplyr in this way. So that for this reason it becomes quite easier to work with dplyr. Now let's say you want to filter out in some other way. So let's say filtering off uh, orange juice. This is my data, and brand that I have to filter out is Tropicana. And at the same time, one more filter condition I want to uh, provide. So for that, or uh, brand equal to so some other brand. So this is the syntax here for this tip layer. So the so what would be the this general syntax for that we discussed yesterday? So can you please type that? So, mm, okay. So this is the equivalent that we did yesterday. So it can be done in this way, or there is one more option available. So let me run this. So here that one has increased to 19,298. So previously it was only 9,000 round something. So there is one more way to do this. Actually, there is an in operator provided. So let us do it in operator. So filtering of orange juice, and brand I want to filter out such that percentage. So brand in. So here I have to make a combination of so and so. So you must have done similar thing in SQL as well. So in the where clause you find there is uh, a syntax where so and so in these. Yeah. So say combination of two. Tropicana. So brand in this. So again, if I want to make assign it to some other variable, and see that too is this the same thing. No, where did that we mentioned that percentage Tropicana percentage? So above two are same actually. So this and this are both same. Only thing is that in a different way. So in operator can be used in this way. So in operator, I think I've also discussed this in previous classes also. So uh, you might be familiar with it. Now let's say if I want to make some of the more alterations. So let's see what are the columns that we have here. So ethnic I have. So let us work on something like ethnic, and see what is there. So summary of orange juice ethnic. So let's say I want to restrict it from first quarter to third quarter. I only want my data to be filtered out in this way. So can you please help me and give me what would be the command for that with filter? Please type that in the comment section. So let me tell you again. So I want my ethnic to be in between this, starting from this first quarter until third quarter. So what will be the syntax for this? No, ethnic is actually a numeric variable, not a character variable. And when you have assigned it in the quotes, it's something. It shows it is a character variable, which is not. So in this, it has provided the summary of the ethnic. So it is actually the distribution. So minimum it starts with this, and maximum it goes until this. And this is actually the quarter-wise distribution of my numbers of ethnic. Okay, so any more try? I think most of you have given up. Okay, so there are two methods here. One could be like this: ethnic is greater than equal to. So I can copy this first quarter number and ethnic is less than equal to my third quarter number that I have. So Akshay, you have tried well, but so um, only one thing doesn't work here, that between sign. So if you had put this colon sign or a sequence, so that might have worked, but here between will not work. So that 3. And also one thing, when you notice the length of, so what ideally is, so my first quarter is 25% of the numbers, and my third quarter is 75% of the number. So if I make a difference between the two, so I'm expected to have 50% of all my numbers in this range. So when you see the number of observation there in that 3, so this is 14,526, which is exactly half of the total number of observation which we started with. Okay, so here it has worked in this way. So all the 50% in the middle category has been filtered out here in that 3. So there is one more way to do this. Let's say that 4, and I want to filter out in a similar way. So here between that between operator or the between sign can be used. And how? Let me show you that. So quarter itself means quad means four divisions. So dividing it in four parts. So first quarter means first 25% or the first fourth part of it. Second quarter means the second fourth part, and in this way. So now with using between operator, it would be like this. Between. So what is my X? So X is ethnic, and so where I should start with, I should start with this number. So that is my left. So left would be my this, and where I should go till my right, and right would be my this number. So this will be my DAT4, and DAT4 also contains the same number of observation, exactly 50% of my original data set. Now let's move on to some other examples as well. So we have checked with is.na there. So let me take that example once. So let me do this. Now what I want is I want to include only those things which are not NA. No, index would be a bit difficult. So for index, first you have to sort this and then you have to provide the index. So I think ethnic is not provided in the sorted order. So for that reason, that option goes away and that option cannot be utilized. So in this case, what I need to do is I want to filter out only those part which doesn't contain NA or which contains a numeric part. So here also I will work with filter. So what will be my command here? Now I'm expecting everyone to answer. So filter what? Filtering, I will be filtering A. And what would be my condition? So anyone? Yeah, somewhat correct. Uh, Somewhat correct. So it should be like this. Is.na. So I explained previously that is.na is the actually the argument which is used. So is.character, is.numeric or is.na can also be used. So is.na of A. Okay, filters applicable method. Apply to an object or class. Okay, so this cannot be used now. Okay, so it has to be done in some other way. So if it was a data frame, then it can be done. Okay, no issues. Then I can put it in a data frame and then I can work with it. So let's say my original part is only, I'm replacing it like this. Yeah, summary can be run on A. So let me show you that. So orange juice, orange juice, brand new. So wherever it is equal to, So what I'm doing here is I'm providing all this value to null. And here I want to filter out orange juice, which is not null. So what I have there so in case if I check what is my uh, new brand there in A, so for all the parts which was not NA has been included, and let's see what is the number of. Now let's say if I have data 6 and I want to include only few of the variables, so top n is my command for that. So top n, and which thing I want to fill, which is the data set, orange juice, and here I have an option of n. So n, what it will do is it will make a sample, so number of rows to return. So out of the entire thing it will return that sample, and from that sample it will make, so let's say 5, and from which thing I want is week from there. So let's say what 6 has. So in that way the top values has been taken. So so let's say if I want bottom values, so here I can provide a minus sign here before week, so it will give me the bottom part or the initial values of week. And now that week started with 41, I think, so we will be getting only those values. So here the week started with 40, so here we have data starting from 40th week, and those things have been filtered out. Now few more things here, like SQL statement. If you want to select few of the columns, a specific column, only then here we have a select statement. So select statement in dplyr, what it does, it only selects few of the columns and only specified columns. So let's say I want to mention brand and then price and then store. So these are the only three columns that has been listed out. So writing it in a traditional way would have been a bit more difficult, but in this way you can only just mention what is the data set and how you want to show your results. So it becomes quite easy to show. And let's say you don't want in this way and you want in a particular manner. So only specified columns should be there. So let's say starting from store and ending till price. So all the columns which started with the row with stores and in between store and price, so all these columns have been included. Now let's say and something which contains a particular format. So here I'm writing with contains. Contains, it's also a part of dplyr, so contains, and if there is a match for, let's say, double E, so week must be having double E in it. So let's see if it matches or not. So yeah, it has only given out in week. So in this way, if I want to filter out any of such column with similar characteristics, I can do that using this contain statement. It has exceeded the so week this way. Now let's say similar thing, head of orange juice, and it starts with a certain character. So let's say, is there any column which start with S? And some more options that I can provide is ignore case. So what it will do, it will take lower case and upper case as same. So ignore case and it would be true. So let's see what we get. Variable contains. Okay. Okay. Similar. So let's say select of orange juice, and if it matches a certain combination, matches so CW. So anywhere where there is a column names, either it contains C or W, that will be listed out. So similar way, if I need some matches with numeric, so in that case, select TP and matches 0 to 9. So all the numeric part will be listed out. Sorry, oranges. So these are the column name which had some numeric variables, numeric term associated with them. So for this reason, these have been listed out there. Now, in case you need to rename any column, so for that, they were,
Ankit,
yeah.
Ankit, I have a question.
Mhm.
You are using select and is it only for the deployer
Yeah, 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 it is only for deployer.
package or we can
Yeah, that is only
deployer?
specific for deployer.
So okay, what about the other one where we used the SQLDF? No, in that we cannot use, right? Because the select this thing comes only.
Yeah, let me show you this. So select. So when I type the select, so there is a drop down, and in this it already specified that which package it uh, belongs to. So in this way, you can get to know that which package
Okay,
a particular command is.
okay, fine.
Okay.
And another thing is like each package is released, right?
Mhm.
So how do we know what are the
So for that, you have to keep on checking some blogs of R. So there they keep updating that if a new package has been uh, the package is there or not. And otherwise, I think while loading some of the packages, you will get some reminder there that these are the packages and which has a new version. So, new version of packages won't be a problem because with every improving version of R, so the version of packages also becomes quite compatible with it. And if it is not, then while loading, it will show that this package was designed for previous version of R or so and so version of R. So you will get to know that.
okay, thanks a lot.
Mhm. Okay. So, like I was saying that uh, renaming also has so let's say column names of orange juice, and I want to rename the first column name. So first is store and I want to change it to capital. So in this way store is it has been changed to store. So if I want to check what is the name now, so it has been changed to capital store. Now what I can do, I can do that using dplyr as well. So for that, what I need to do is rename orange juice where store will be equal to store. So now it has been renamed and it has become small. So now let's say if I want to make any changes in this particular column. So for that I have another function in dplyr, that is mutate. So let's say data 13, and here I have mutate orange juice, and let's say price dot 100, that will be equal to price into 100. So in this way a new column will add up to the data set, existing data set. So if I check what are the column names there in that 13, so a new column has been added towards the end, that is price.100. And if I look at the values of these two, so let's say head of orange juice with uh, combination of price and price.100. Price there and price.100. So error in the data frame. Undefined column. Okay, oh sorry. So it was not there in there. So this has been multiplied with 100 there. Now, there are also options using which you can summarize the data. So for that there is a syntax of summarize in dplyr. So summarizing of orange juice, and let's see what we have. So data frame with 0 columns, 0 rows. There. So okay. So before that, one more thing. So there is one more thing associated with it. There is arrange. Arrange is also one of the function in dplyr, and if you want to arrange few of the columns on some specified column, so arrange, and that will be on basis of, let's say, price. By default it will be ascending, so it will arrange all of them with ascending order. So if I look at this, so all the price are arranged in the ascending order. Now let's say if it needs to be in descending, then I have this 15, arrange orange juice descending price. So now I will have all the data arranged in descending order of price. So price starts with the highest value first and goes down. And also it could be done like this also. Let's say if I provide a negative sign before that, that will also work in a similar way in the descending order. So same thing. So if I check head of that 15, so highest price comes first. Okay. And suppose if I want to make a group buy, then for that I have a group by statement there in the deploy package. So let's say group brand, and here I can have group by orange juice with brand. And let's see what is there in gr brand, group brand. So let's say glimpse of group gives me similar picture, and later on it will become easy to make many more manipulations here. So let's say if I want to make a summary on basis of this, then it will become quite easy. Summarize group brand on basis of mean of price and let's say standard deviation of so what are the columns that I have? 860. So it has been summarized in this way. So mean of price and then standard deviation of age for each of the specified brand. Now one more function is there, so this will be the last one for the day. I think it has been too long. So count, let's say, of orange juice, and then I want to make it as per the brands that I have. So it will give me counts of each of the brand that is there. Yeah, so this is it for today. So dplyr has many more functions associated with it. So this is just part of it, and there is a lot more to cover. So anything from your side or anything you want to repeat or